Welcome to the Mystery Mouse Knitting Podcast. My name is Holly. This is episode 7. And today it is April 8th, 2022 in the afternoon. And I have another episode for you. I'm going to talk about my knitting, what I've been working on, what I've started. I have a little shop update news, and I'm also going to talk about what I'm reading right now. So I'll do that later in the episode, but let me just start out with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a sleeveless, I don't know, it's like a tank top, but I wear it as a vest sometimes. This is from Noro magazine, and I could try to find it for you, but I changed this pattern so much. I just made it like a straight down tank. And I used the stitch pattern and I did the neckline like they said, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to have sleeves, and also it had like a bell shape in the original. It was very very bell shaped. I don't know how else to explain it. It got bigger and bigger toward the bottom, and I just did it more straight. I don't think I increased it all or did any shaping. So I changed it so much. I basically used the stitch pattern and did the neck the way they said, and the edging, so which I really like. It's really a nice little like eyelet pattern on the edging. So anyway, that's what this is, and this is a linen blend yarn. I think it had bamboo in it or something like that, and I got it at Tuesday morning, and I think I had 2 or 3 skeins, maybe 3 skeins. And, you know, when you get yarn at Tuesday morning, it's usually either discontinued or just very difficult to find. I can't remember what it was, but it's a very, like, summer kind of yarn. Also, my Beauty and the Beast mug for today is this mug I got a long time ago at the Disney store with Chip. So cute. And it says, "Want to see me do a trick?" which is what he says in the movie. I'm drinking coffee. Oh, glorious coffee. I always have coffee in the morning, you know, and in the afternoon. It's been a little tricky since I've been breastfeeding my baby, but it's not that it's coming to an end. He's almost 11 months, but I try to like wait until after he eats or have decaf. This is not decaf. So let's talk about finished objects. First of all, I finished my Spice of Life crochet blanket. This is by Sandra Paul. This is where I started. And I got through all the repeats that she had. I think I even cut out some of the plain rows though. So the first repeat of this pattern goes through here, about here. These puffs were one of the last stitches, and then it starts over again with the grannies. And I just did a few repeats. I just wanted to make a square because I was running out of yarn and colors. And then I had ordered 1 ball of mint because I really love the mint. You know, mint is one of those colors you either love it or you're like, you know, I love it. And maybe it's just a fad, who knows. But I ordered mint for the border, and only 1 ball, you know, 100 grams. And I had a little bit left, so I was really thankful I had enough to do that. So anyway, it is done. I'm using it mostly in my craft room, but sometimes when I'm cold, I go get it, you know, if I'm somewhere else in the house or at night, because it's so cheerful. And I just really love it. But like I was going to say, I don't know if I said, I just made it to a square. So it's just barely over a square, I think, if you kind of stretch it a little bit. But that is my Spice of Life blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart. You can get this pattern for free, or you can pay for it, and she gives you a lot more instructions. But she has tutorials on her YouTube channel for all of the stitches. So it's so great for beginning crocheters. like me, who really just want to learn how to do things. And I'm really thankful for that, because crochet is fun. It's different, and I want to be better at it. So that was finished. Another thing that I finished was I did the duplicate stitch on Grady's Cloudy Day flax pullover. That's what I'm calling it for myself. So I did a cloud and a sun, and I'll put a picture in of him wearing it. It looks so good. So I really want to knit a Cloudy Day sweater for me with just like clouds all over it, intarsia clouds. I think what I'm going to do is take the numbers from the flax and, well, see, I'm torn. Should I take the numbers from a flax, add a couple stitches on the sides, do it in pieces, because my intarsia pattern that I'm taking the clouds from is a blanket, or should I do it from the top down? It's the clouds are huge, so you can't do stranded color work. That would be a mess. So I could stop on one of the raglans and go back and forth and just add a stitch and sew that raglan up. I might do that, because then I could try it on. And but I don't know. Now, a lot of people hate knitting in pieces. I don't mind knitting in pieces. That's how I started knitting, because when I started knitting, I knit a lot of Debbie Bliss. And a lot of British patterns are written in pieces from the bottom up, because it's just the traditional way to do it. So I'm very used to that construction and the seaming and everything, but it is really nice to try it on as you go. So I'm kind of torn about what to do about that. So I'm thinking about it. I can't think too long. I know Grady's gonna outgrow the sweater. Part of the problem is there are so many sweaters I want to start that I'm just having trouble deciding which one I should start, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I'm having a little bit of a roadblock in a lot of areas, which maybe you will see. So, but that's finished, and I'm super happy to have that done. So some works in progress. I have picked up again Toby's night sweater. This is not very exciting looking knitting, and well, it's not very exciting knitting, but it's kind of nice, mostly mindless knitting, almost mindless knitting. It has this pattern, so I have to kind of watch and make sure I do a knit row or a purl row where I'm supposed to. But it's going well, and I ordered some more yarn. One of the reasons I had stopped working on it is because I knew I was going to run out of yarn. This is, I'm pretty sure, Cascade 220, and I had Cascade 220, and I had Wool of the Andes worsted, and they are not the same color, but they are so close. So close. So I'm just going to use them together, because I don't know if I can get more of this Cascade 220 in this color. I'm not sure what color it is. It was so long ago. Maybe I can, but this is fine. So I got some more of this, not enough to finish the sweater, but enough to keep me busy for a while. And I decided also, because I was going to knit it up to the armholes, finish the front and the back up to the armholes, finish the sleeves up to where they would join, and then do it all together in the round raglan style. Well, I decided, because I think another reason I was stopping doing this is that was just too much. Like, do this, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do this, and then you can do the thing. But then how are you going to do it? Because I still have intarsia on the front. It was just a mess. So I decided to make it a drop shoulder. I mean, this is going to be an oversized sweater, I hope. And he keeps growing. But so I'm just going to make it a drop shoulder. So I think I'll just do it straight up to the neck, do some neck shaping and shoulder shaping, and just keep the sides straight. And then I won't have to knit the sleeves quite as long, which will be great. But they will have to be big, fat sleeves. But hopefully when I get around to doing the sleeves, I can do them 2 at a time. And it'll just be a lot of knitting. But then I'll just sew them on, you know, etc., finish. So I have been working on that. So I think this is where I was last time, I think, when I started knitting it again. So I've knit quite a bit. And I put a stitch marker here. This is from Simply Serving, I think. I'm pretty sure. I put a stitch marker here because I have to do 15 more ridges after this stitch marker before I start the neck shaping. So that gives me kind of a tangible goal because, you know, when it's like just knit until you can't knit anymore, sometimes that point comes too soon. Anyway, I am working on that, and I'm happy to be working on it because this is a kind of a mom guilt project because I know he wants it. So that's Toby's night sweater, and I'm just making that up. I hope it goes okay. You know, sometimes when you make things up, you have to change things as you go. You have to redo things. It's not always pretty. Sometimes when you're finally done and you're like, I just can't do this anymore. It's still a little janky, and you know, you wish you had done something differently or followed a pattern, but it's going good so far. Let's see. Oh, I have my Beauty and the Beast pullover by Megan Reagan in my Beauty and the Beast bag, which I made. This is going well. It's just very slow. I'm sure that it has grown a tiny bit since you saw it last. I finished Lumiere. I started Cogsworth. I am changing the Cogsworth chart to include his pendulum. I will just show you that part. I don't want to give anything away from the pattern. So his clock face is above, and then I have added this. So and see, like I've crossed a couple of these out because I'm not going to do, I was just like experimenting with how it looked. So that's how it's going to go, and I hope it translates well, because you never know. I'm not a chart maker, and but I really wanted him to have that mantle clock look, and so that's what I'm doing for him. And then as soon as I'm done with Cogsworth, which these rows are taking forever. I'm not even doing a big size. I'm doing like actually a size that's like a little smaller than the size for me. And I'm doing it in fingering weight yarn on a smaller needle, but it seems so big. And I want it to not have too much positive ease because, I don't know, I have small shoulders. And so I feel like sometimes a yoke sweater just looks kind of bunchy on me. And I don't want it to be that way. I want it to be nice and smooth and filled out. So I'm just kind of hoping that it will work out. So anyway, here is the clock. You can see him. He's coming out. And can't wait. I think I'm going to be wearing this sweater all the time when it's done, because I can't wait. So excited. And who knows what other adjustments I'll make on the way. I'm sure there will be more. I know that I'm planning to adjust Mrs. Potts because she's my fave. Okay, so now some things that you haven't seen before. I did work some on... Great, I just knocked something on the floor. I did work on David's socks. So... I did work on David's 70s socks, and those are inching along. I'm not a fast sock knitter. I really wish I was, because I have a sock bug right now. And that's cool, because I was hoping my sock mojo would come back, and it has. But I have so many half-finished pairs of socks, or almost finished pairs of socks, or mostly not finished pairs of socks. So I kind of have a variety of donenesses. It's just a mess. But sock-wise, I cast on a pair of socks in my hand-dyed yarn, and this is my Poirot color. And I'm just doing a broken rib, or a garter rib, I guess. So it's like rib with garter in between, because I love in hand-dyed yarn seeing how it looks in stockinette and how it looks in garter, because it looks so different, you know? And I think with garter, you can see the little, it looks like little pebbles, but they're so pretty. So I have just started these. These are really nice to work on because every other round is just knit, and then the round after that is knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. So they're nice and easy. And, you know, there is something about a patterned pair of socks that's just very satisfying. I have the stitch marker that my friend Elizabeth made me, which I love. I thought it matched really nicely. It's kind of Art Nouveau. And so anyway, this is my Poirot colorway. There is one Poirot sock set left in the shop. It has a black tonal mini skein to go with it for his mustache. And my ball of yarn has fallen under the table, so I can't get it. I will get that later, hopefully before one of the cats finds it. Another thing I started, which I'm almost done with, and I'm super proud of myself because I'm working on the second sleeve without a pause, like a pro. And I have dropped some stitches. Hold on. Okay. This is just a flax light for Grady, the baby. And it is a very hungry caterpillar inspired sweater. This yarn is by Southern Storytime, our favorite board books collection. And you know, I had someone say to me, this yarn reminds me of Very Hungry Caterpillar, and I was like, ta-da, that's what it is. So I love this. I can't wait for him to wear it. I made the 1 to 2 year old size. I tried to make it like as long as I could. Like when I got to the point where I'm like, this is probably long enough, I made myself knit a few more rows because knowing my kids are all tall, and if I can make it just an inch longer, he'll probably get to wear it longer. So as you can see, I have finished one sleeve, ta-da, and I am working on the second sleeve, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the decreases because I didn't mark where I did my decreases, and I did a whole bunch, and I think I looked back and I was like, oh, I had already done a decrease like before this point, and so I just quickly did a decrease. It doesn't matter. You know, it's for a baby, and no one's going to be like, that arm looks 1 stitch or no, 2 stitches bigger than the other arm. No one's going to know. But anyway, I'm just using the red mini she included in, it was a sock set kind of with a 20-gram mini. So I'm using the red for all the ribbing. And I have one more of these sock sets from her, which is the Goodnight Moon one. And I was going to make socks for me, which, like I said, I'm in a sock mood, even if it takes forever to knit socks. But I love knitting this so much, I think I'm going to do another one because I can see him wearing this all the time. That is a wonderful thing about babies. They have to wear what you put them in. And since it's fingering weight, you know, he can wear it when it's just a little bit chilly or instead of a jacket or something. So I might see how much yarn I have left from this one, and I might make a like the next size up if I think I'm going to have enough yarn for that. So I'm really excited about that. I might just, like, as soon as I'm done with this one, I might cast on the next one because I loved working on this. You know, it's great to have a stockinette in the round project going. It's like a sock, but you know, you only have to knit one sweater. So I am super excited about that. I started doing, what's it called? Oh, helical knitting. I started doing helical knitting at some point. I could probably find where it is. All right, I'll look. Because at the very beginning, you know, I didn't worry about it when I was increasing a lot for the yoke. But once I was done increasing, it must be here because I've got one end. If you've never done helical knitting, it is the best way to alternate skeins in the round. It's mindless. It works great. Look up a tutorial for helical knitting. If I can find a good one, I'll try to link it. But basically what you do is you start in add in your new ball, or I just used the other end of the skein. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did it first, and then it got really tangled because whenever you do that, well, whenever I do that, it gets really tangled. So I had to untangle it, and then I just split it into 2 balls. And one was way smaller than the other, and I ran out, and I had to just join in the thing again. But you knit in the round till you are 3 stitches away from your previous round. Then you just slip, you just drop that yarn, you slip those stitches until you get to where your old yarn was, and then you just start knitting again, and then you do that again. So your round keeps starting like 3 stitches earlier each time, but they're all getting knit. They're just not getting knit in the same skein. And it sounds way more complicated than it is. And if you see someone do it, you'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. So I highly recommend helical knitting if you don't want to have like a line going up, like a seam where you switch yarns every time, because I wouldn't want that. It's not necessary in this kind of project because it's not like I wanted to do stripes or anything. So this is my very hungry caterpillar sweater. Hopefully next time I'll have a picture or a video of Grady wearing this, even though it'll probably be a little bit big. I hope, anyway, because I want it to fit next year. So that is that. I think that's all the knitting. I feel like I've done more knitting, but maybe it's those things I finished, I guess. I did work a little bit on my granny advent blanket. I'm making granny squares with my advent calendar from last year from Southern Storytime because I was just totally brain dead last night. I worked on that a little bit, and that was nice. But this is a sewing project I just wanted to show you. I'm making a little wall hanging. Grady is still in our room. He's sleeping on like the other side of my room. And I have like, since he doesn't have his own room, I like decorated that wall for him. So before he was born, my husband repainted it and I put some little shelves up. And my kind of theme for him was clouds. Mostly because I loved these shelves so much, and like, so that's why I put a sun and cloud on his sweater. And I have a blanket, a little flannel blanket for him made out of this background fabric. But I want to hang this up over his bed just to be like a soft wall hanging, like absorb some noise. So I made this hot air balloon and little basket, and it's just, once again, I just made this up. This is just all flannel, and I put the balloon on its own backing, like its own batting, and I think backing, did I? Maybe just batting. And then I just sewed around it. I like sewed it by hand first, and then I zigzag stitched it, and I sewed the basket on my hand. And I think I'm just going to leave that because you can't see it, and it's good. And I have it sticking out so that I can put a little stuffed animal in here, like he's, you know, exploring the airwaves or whatever. But I thought it would be cute to like change it out sometimes what animal is on there. And I need to do some little yarn strings to connect the basket to the hot air balloon. So, but I have sewed the binding on the front, and I just made like a bias, my own bias tape kind of binding. And so I'm just going to flip this around to the back and whip stitch it in place on the back. And the back I just did is the basket fabric. So that is a little project I'm working on. I had kind of machine quilted the background, but I didn't like how it looked. It looked really like I was trying to hurry. This happens to me a lot. I'm trying to hurry and I'm just not being careful enough. I'm like, it'll be fine. And then it's not fine. So I had to take it all out. I mean, this project has been in the works for a while. And I got totally burned out because I had to undo all of that work that I did. But I had the balloon done and the basket done, and they were good, you know. So, so the other day I cleaned my craft room, and that's where my sewing machine is. And so then I was like, I'm going to do it. This is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this project. So one night when I feel like doing it, instead of knitting, I'm going to sit and whip stitch this while I watch TV or whatever. And it won't take that long. It'll take a couple hours probably. And then I will just figure out how to hang it up. I don't know if I'm going to do like a little hangy thing, put a rod in it, or, you know, put like a, I don't know. Or if I'm just going to nail it into the wall, because at the end of the day, the important thing is that it's hanging there, and while he's still a baby. So anyway, I'm so happy to be getting this done, because sometimes, you know, there are so many things that I want to make, and, you know, sometimes you run out of time. Some makes are time sensitive because, like, I couldn't make this for a 15-year-old. This is, you know, this is for a baby, and I want it to be sweet and cute, and I want it to be like I imagined it. So, I am going to finish this, and I'll show you again when it's done. Maybe I'll show you his wall, what it looks like, because I'm pretty proud of it. It's cute. And so that is my sewing project. Now I have a little bit of shop news. I have added some stitch markers to my shop, and I have two kinds. This is the British Museum stitch marker set, and I'm putting it on this card so that when you get it, if you order it, you can take this string out, you know, use your stitch markers and use this as a bookmark, because one of the things my shop is about is books, and especially mysteries. So you have a mystery book, you need a bookmark, Mystery Mouse Yarn Company will happily provide your bookmark needs. Anyway, this has one progress keeper, and which is this tassel. This tassel comes in, I think, 4 or 5 colors. We have this dark red, turquoise, a tan, a dark brown, and a gold sparkle. So you can choose your tassel color, and then it will come with these 5 stitch markers, one in each color, which is really nice if you're needing to use them for different things. You can remember which one is which. I love the dark brown one. I think it's so pretty. They look like little pottery things to me, from like Mesopotamia or somewhere in the Middle East or South America or something. So that's why I'm calling it British Museum, the British Museum set. And so this to me was very, very Sherlock Holmes, very Agatha Christie. And I think it's really cool. I think these rings will fit up to a size 8 needle, I'm pretty sure. And of course the progress keeper is good for whatever you clip it on. That is the British Museum set. And then I also have the St. Mary Mead set. This is a smaller set, and it comes with a butterfly progress keeper and 2 stitch markers. And The butterfly comes in 3 colors. You can get purple or green, like a pale green, or a white. And these are so pretty. They have little, like, I don't know if you can see it. They have little metallic gold accents. And I think the rings of this will fit a size 9 needle. St. Mary Mead is where Agatha Christie's Miss Marple is from in her books. So that is what inspired me, this the English countryside village. And it's very springy. So I hope you'll check those out at Mystery Mouse Yarn Company. Now I'm going to talk about what I'm reading. And first I want to talk about my mouse book for this episode. I told you my son Toby has gotten into reading the Redwall series. And I'm trying to read this one with him. These are great books. Now, Toby loves cute things, and he also loves medieval and like battle, army, stuff like that, weapons. These are great adventure stories. There's always tons going on. Every night he comes in and gives me like an entire book report of what he's, you know, what's happened. He's like, you would never believe what happened, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, so these are great books. So he's almost 12. And so I would highly recommend these for your like 10 to 14-year-olds if they're into that kind of stuff. And they're really great stories. This is by Brian Jakes. He wrote a series that I read a long time ago about the Flying Dutchman, the ghost ship. I think that was a trilogy. That was an excellent series also. So I highly recommend as a mouse book. And I'm going to be doing a yarn series on Redwall. I would love to know if you would be interested in that. If anyone is like, yes, Redwall, I'm a fan, please let me know, okay? Because that's coming, but I don't know when. Okay, 2 book acquisitions I just wanted to mention because I was so excited about these 2 things. The first one is, this is just an anthology, but I was super excited about it because it has short stories by Agatha Christie and Dorothy Sayers. Dorothy L. Sayers is one of my favorite authors also. And I think it has something by Edmund Crispin also. Edmund Crispin is, he wrote a book called The Movable Toy Shop, which was excellent. I listened to an audiobook of that, and I found it in a used bookstore and I bought it. That is a really interesting mystery. So I was just really excited. I found this at used bookstore, Second and Charles, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited about that. Also, I found this. You cannot beat used books. This was $1.50. This is called The Floating Admiral, and it is really interesting because it's a story, at least this is what I understand from reading the inside, you know, kind of just looking at it. It's got like 1 chapter written by each of these famous mystery writers. So like Agatha Christie wrote a chapter, Dorothy L. Sayers wrote a chapter. Yes, I am so excited to read this. I almost don't want to read it because then it will be gone. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm really, really excited about that. Really excited to have found that because I didn't know it existed. You know, that's the best thing when you find something that you can actually get that you didn't know existed. This is what I am reading right now, though. This is what I'm reading at night before I go to bed. The complete short stories about Hercule Poirot by Agatha Christie. I think this is a relatively recent publication. And this is from the library, but I'm going to buy this book because I have the complete Miss Marple short stories. So I need this. And, you know, I don't have hard copies of all of these individually anyway. They're probably taken from all her short story collections, some of which are about Hercule Poirot. And some of them are just random short stories or like about other characters or whatever. I don't have all of those, but I would love to own this because I love it. I love Agatha Christie so much. I'm also reading this biography of Winston Churchill. This is a series my husband has a subscription to. One of his friends bought him a subscription to this book series. It's just all Winston Churchill. It's so heavy. Look how fat it is. My kids are like, Mom, it's so big. But my husband likes to collect books, and I like to read books. I like to collect books too, but I like to read them. So I am reading this. So anyway, there's like 4 volumes up to, this is number 6. So I read part of number 5 because I want to read the World War II years. I mean, that's what Winston Churchill is known for. Plus, I'm doing this World War II class in my homeschool co-op. So I've been very, into World War II. And this one just came in March. So this is like the beginning of the war. I mean, this is only covering 3 years. And but it's so interesting. What's really interesting to me is that there's so much information because during this time, Winston Churchill was this is before he became prime minister at the beginning of this book. He is the first Lord of the Admiralty, which means he's the head of the Navy. And so he's in so many meetings, and he has telegrams to FDR and, letters and memos and speeches. There's just so much information. There's stuff for almost every day. It's like on September 13th, he did this. On September 14th, he did this, and it's so detailed, but it's really fascinating. And it's interesting to me the things he thought about Hitler and about Mussolini. He was really hoping the Italians would come on the side of the Allies, which of course they did not do. I don't think they knew that Italy and Germany had signed not a non-aggression pact, but a mutual help pact or whatever that is. Anyway, I'm speaking really intelligently about it, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I read this when I eat lunch, and so I'm not very far yet, but I don't know. It's really making that time come alive for me because it's so immersive. It's very immersive. And so anyway, I don't know if this is very easy to get. This is by Hillsdale College Press. Like I said, it's a subscription. But I'm sure that there are many books written about Winston Churchill during this time. And I recommend it. It's very fascinating. I wanted to talk about another thing because I got this magazine because I wanted the cover sweater. I'm going to make this sweater. I'm so excited about it. It looks like it has little holly leaves and berries in it. I will probably change the charts because I just can't help myself. Like I'm not sold on this green band here. I think it's a little too fat. Or maybe it bothers me because the lighter colors to the inside and I want it to fade out. I don't know. But I love this sweater. I was so excited when I saw it. They put it at the end of the previous issue, which I happened to also get. But so my husband bought this for me at Barnes & Noble. And then I looked inside and I found that there were like 5 or 6 sweaters in here that I wanted to make. So I just wanted to show you real quick what they were. So first the cover sweater. Next is this sweater, Whisk, by Lisa Richardson. I think that is beautiful. I can totally see making that. And that's made with a more bulky yarn, so that's really cool. So it would take less time. This one, this looks so vintage. I love it. And they have it so that you can wear it back to front if you want to have a crew neck type thing. They have that. There are just so many good patterns in this. There's a baby pattern that I can see making. And then there's this, which I think I'm going to end up making also. And there's one more, I think. Is that the last one? Maybe that's the last one. I think I missed one. Anyway, I am very, very excited about this magazine. I love knitting magazines. I think they are great. Maybe it was the pull-out one. This pull-out pattern I really like also. So I have plans to make those. That's kind of my dream knitting right now. I find that what happens is there are sweaters I want to make that I have the yarn for. And then there are sweaters that I want to make that I don't have the yarn for. And it's really a struggle to like put this aside because I'm excited about it. I think it's beautiful and do the things that I have the yarn for. So, but anyway, I will work on that. So I think that's all I have for you today. I actually talked about my mouse book this time, which is great. Please check out my shop for the stitch markers, and there's still a Poirot sock set in there, and maybe some other stuff you might be interested in. My Sherlock Holmes minis, and I have one Agatha Christie mini skein set left. I'm thinking about casting on some socks with the Brambly Hedge minis because I think they're so springy. So I might be making like a pair of stripy socks with those minis. But you know, I need to finish some other stuff first. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. Oh, wait, he has a booger on his nose. Did you take a nap? Oh, it's a hard booger. Okay. Yeah. What'd you find? Can you sing a song about it? La, 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 la. Oh, do I have to eat it too? Yeah. Is it delicious?